We all dream of that perfect yard, right? The one that looks amazing but doesn't eat up all our weekends. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into a super simple but really powerful secret weapon that can get you there, and that's black mulch. I mean, does this picture just scream summer nightmare to anyone else? You spend all this time and money creating the perfect garden, and what happens? You're locked in this endless war with weeds, and you're constantly stressing about whether your plants are getting enough water. It's just a total chore, especially when it gets super hot out. But what if I told you the solution is, well, it's literally right there under your feet. It's all about a simple top layer. Yup, we're talking about black mulch. And trust me, we're going to see how this stuff does so much more than just look pretty. All right, section 1. So what exactly is black mulch? Let's break it down. Okay, so at its core, black mulch is just a ground covering. It can be made from a bunch of different things, and it's dyed black for, well, for looks and for function. You've seen it everywhere, right? In flower beds, around trees. It's that stuff that protects the soil and gives the whole yard a super clean, finished look. Now, when you go to buy it, you're basically going to find two main flavors. First, you've got your organic mulch. This is the natural stuff, like shredded hardwood or bark. The cool thing here is that it breaks down over time and actually feeds your soil. Then you've got synthetic mulch. This is usually made from recycled rubber or plastic. It doesn't break down, so it's crazy durable and lasts a lot longer. So how is this stuff made? It's actually pretty simple. They take the base material, grind it up, and then spray it with a black dye. And this is super important. Any good, reputable brand is going to use a non-toxic dye, so it's totally safe for your plants, your pets, and your family. After that, they just dry it out and bag it up. Okay, section 2. The 5 big benefits, because honestly, this is where it gets really good. Black mulch isn't just a pretty face, it's an absolute workhorse for your garden. Let's get into the 5 biggest reasons why. So what are these 5 game-changing benefits? Let's dive in. All right, benefit number 1 is a big one, moisture retention. I want you to think of mulch as a protective lid for your soil. It drastically cuts down on how much water just evaporates into the air. What does that mean for you? You water way less and your plants stay happy and hydrated, which is absolutely critical during those brutal summer heat waves. Benefit number 2 is my personal favorite because it's a huge time saver. Weed suppression. A nice thick layer of mulch literally blocks the sun from reaching the soil, and without sun, those annoying little weed seeds can't sprout. That means you get to spend way less time pulling weeds. Hallelujah. Okay, number 3 is a pretty clever trick. Soil temperature regulation. Because it's black, it soaks up sunlight like a sponge. This actually warms up the soil earlier in the spring, and that can give your plants a major head start on the growing season. It's like a little solar blanket for your garden. Benefit number 4, erosion control. This is huge if you have any hills or slopes in your yard. Mulch acts like a net, holding your precious topsoil right where it belongs. So when a big storm hits, your soil and all its nutrients don't just wash away. And last but not least, number 5, the pure aesthetic value. Let's be real, it just looks incredible. That deep, dark color creates this amazing contrast that makes the greens of your plants and the colors of your flowers just pop. It's that professional, finished look that really adds the wow factor. All right, section 3, putting it to use. So we know why it's awesome. Now let's talk about how to use it to get all those great results. And you can use this stuff pretty much anywhere. It's perfect for your flower beds, for making those neat little rings around your trees, for creating sharp borders along walkways. You even see it in big commercial landscapes because it just works so well. Applying it correctly is super easy, but there are a few key things to remember. First, you got to clear out the weeds that are already there. Then spread an even layer. Now this is really important. Do not pile it up right against the stems of your plants or the trunks of your trees. Think of it like a donut, not a volcano. Give them some breathing room. And every once in a while, just fluff it up with a rake so it doesn't get all matted down. Okay, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this number, 2 to 3 inches. That's the magic depth. Seriously, 2 to 3 inches. Any less, and weeds will still pop through. Any more, and you could actually suffocate your plant's roots. So, 2 to 3 inches, that's the sweet spot. Section 4, keeping it fresh. Okay, so you've got it down. How do you keep it looking great, and how long is it going to last? This is where you have to make a choice, kind of like a trade-off. Your organic mulch is going to look great for about a year before it starts to fade. But as it breaks down, it's feeding your soil. The inorganic rubber mulch, that stuff can keep its color for years, but it does absolutely nothing for your soil health. So you just have to decide what's more important to you, long-term color or feeding your garden. But keeping it fresh is pretty easy. The simplest thing is just to add a thin top-up layer every spring. That'll bring the rich color right back. A little trick is you can also just take a rake and fluff it around. That'll bring some of the darker, unfaded stuff from the bottom up to the top. Honestly, though, the best advice. Just buy good quality mulch from the start. It really does make a difference. All right, last section. Section 5, is it right for you? Let's pull it all together. So let's tackle the big question, probably the most important one for anyone who cares about their garden and their family. Is this stuff safe? You know, with the dye and everything, is it okay for my plants, for my pets, for my kids? And the answer is a big, resounding yes, as long as you buy from a reputable brand. They use dyes that are non-toxic and biodegradable, so you can feel good about it. And hey, here's a little bonus. That dry top layer of mulch can actually discourage a lot of common garden pests from setting up shop. So it's a win-win. So to wrap this all up, I want you to think of your garden like a painting. Your flowers, your shrubs, those are the stars of the show. But the mulch, that's the background. It's what makes everything else stand out and pulls the whole picture together. Black mulch gives you a really bold, dramatic, and super functional background. So the only real question is, what kind of story do you want your garden to tell?